Good morning, everyone. It's Friday the 27th. Let's dive into this price action and potential scenarios for today. Here's another clip it from yesterday's video, and we talked about potential levels of 572 and the 570 area, how we got them and how they played out. So in the pre-market, we anchored the VWAP to the yesterday's closing price, and we got that 572 to see if there'd be a reaction, break above VWAP or reject, and pull in deeper to this 3-day view to Thursday's VWAP here. So let's dive into it. 72 level, maybe pulling a little bit deeper to this 571. Keep in mind the 2-day VWAP will be a nice line in the sand. The 2-day VWAP will start to look like that, and we'll have our 3-day VWAP. So that's going to be a potential area where I'm going to be monitoring for some support in this 570, 571 region. If this decides to pull back, start to rally back and end up where we started for the day. Monitor if we break back, start to trade into that daily VWAP. So we pull back from the price, retrace into the 2-day, 3-day VWAP, reject the daily VWAP. Then maybe we could see poised for some further profit taking to some deeper levels. So at this point in time, we talked about the price, and then that would be potentially like our daily VWAP. So maybe price rallies up, and we could look to get some profit taking, get some consolidation at the daily VWAP area near this 572, and then maybe that could fuel us into new all-time highs continuation. So it's ideally something like that I'm looking for. And if we start to break beneath this 570, again, this has been our key line in the sand as well for the week, is this Thursday's VWAP. You can see that on Monday, we consolidated near it and just slowly started to climb the ladder above it. And now we pushed off and launched. So that's a potential scenario for the SPY. Looking for the pullback into this 571, 570, rally back up into 573, 572 area, get some consolidation at this 572, 573 for pushing to 577. Monitor for the decline, 5-day moving average, 570 for the decline. And maybe we start to get trapped if that 5-day moving average does start to curl. Because if we get a quick shakeout and start to hold, that 5-day moving average will start to ride flat and for today. Okay, so let's talk about today now. And we got the 30-minute chart here. And so we had the anchor. We're looking at the 472 level. 472 level. We get the 472 level from that anchor cluster right here, coming tagging this VP area. All right, that's where we start to bounce to the VWAP, pull back into the 2-day VWAP. Slap Thursday's VWAP on. I cleared all my drawings before. So let's get Thursday's VWAP here that we had here. So we have tagged a Thursday's VWAP here, and then we rallied back up. So in the video we discussed yesterday was tagging down to this 572 level, potentially maybe a VWAP continuation, or maybe this to the downside, which we actually got to that Thursday VWAP. Then we expected some bounce level, and this was actually where I think we had some traders in the chat room take some day trades. Don called out some trades here, and as price should, reacted, right? Reclaimed this 2-day VWAP, traded into the daily VWAP. Now this leads us to that part of the video yesterday where we retraced the VWAP, and it's just going to give us the energy now where this 2-day VWAP becomes support, get back above our daily, have a 2-day and daily VWAP strength. So here's our 2-day VWAP. We'll be looking at something like that. And then we're opening right near it. Here's our 3-day. So we're opening near the 2-day, 3-day, and our daily VWAP. So perhaps we'll just be able to see all of them act as support from our daily VWAP, and we'll get some price action pushing it to new all-time highs. Perhaps we start to break below this 2-day VWAP, break beneath this week to date and Thursdays, which we could say coincides with the 5-day moving average. Really nice VP cluster over here. I think this is our line in the sand that if we start to break underneath this might get some people start to get trapped, and then from a failed move comes fast moves. So we would get a potential scenario like that. So, and then start to get trapped underneath that 5-day. So that's the scenario that we talked about yesterday, and it's a potential scenario that we could look for today on the SPY. So we just talked about tagging that 572 level, here's a VWAP continuation play. Tags the 572. Oh, tags the 572 area. Pulls back in. You could actually slap a VWAP. Call this a handoff. And you could see as it rejects that, that could be as price bounces in this 572 level, pulls back in and starts to reject. You could potentially set up a multi-day trade, multi-day reversal VWAP trade into this 2-day on the day trade here. And where can you risk? You could risk the stop out here or your previous high for a potential move down to the 2-day VWAP, week-to-date VWAP. We'd want to be keeping this tight because your average buyer is in control. So at any minute, this could just get released and bounce. So that's the price action I'm looking for on the SPY. Let's wrap this up, get to the QQQ, and just talk about the price levels, potential scenarios there. So similar scenarios to QQQ, gapped up, pulled back, undercut that 2-day. You could see held this VP cluster right here, right above that week-to-date VWAP, rallied back above. So we're trading underneath yesterday's VWAP. So we'll see if we get some more profit taking right at the gate down into the 484. Right, get some people excited to short here, start for it to bounce on them, and then potentially roll over. And we could see 2-day VWAP. That'll be our 3-day VWAP at that point, and the 2-day VWAP will be acting as resistance. Or perhaps the potential scenario is we rally back above. We could look for some consolidation in the 2-day and daily, and that could give us that continued push. Whether this market wants to get the magnet up here to a new all-time high, or now that it filled this gap, undergo some profit taking. Have a good day, everyone.